Welcome back to the channel, guys. So have you ever taken a photo of the moon and wondered why it doesn't look as stunning as it did in person? Well, we might have found the answer. Samsung cameras have been praised for their advanced technology and exceptional photography capabilities, no doubt in that. But what if we told you that some of the photos taken by these cameras were not as authentic as they seem? This photo may seem like a breathtaking capture of moon, but what if we told you that it was not taken by a professional telescope camera, but a Samsung camera? And after some extensive research and testing, I have discovered that Samsung phones may be artificially enhancing moon photos to make them look more impressive than they actually are. So in this video, we're gonna dive in details of how Samsung cameras are faking the moon photos and what this means for the photography industry. So buckle up and let's get ready. Firstly, Samsung have been advertising their phones as having up to 100 times space zoom capabilities for years now. You can actually pick up a Samsung phone and zoom ridiculously amount of times into the moon, take a shot and still end up with the results that somehow crispier than a $5,000 professional camera setup could ever take. It's impressive, but the internet has apparently proved it fake. Let me explain. So it all started when a Reddit user called I Break Photos downloaded a high-res shot of moon from the internet. Then he downscaled that image to just 170 by 170 pixels, which is a tiny resolution that basically all details would have been disappeared, and then applied a blur to it. What he was trying to do here is to manufacture something that contains little actual detail, but the phone might still identify it as a moonshot to see whether if the artificial intelligence add in extra details. So anyway, he then apparently turns all the lights off, uses his Samsung phone to take a photo of this blurry 170 into 170 moonshot, and he ends up with this. It's such an incredible difference that he comes to conclusion that Samsung is using its supposed AI scene optimizer mode to place craters in spot that were not, and it was really blurry mess. But this phone just got the sharpened photo from the original photo, which was blurred. Like Samsung suggests, the AI here does not take multiple shots and blend details together, but instead recognizing that it's a moon photo and just swapping out the actual photo with the correct textured one. So this is a big claim, and I actually tried to recreate what the Redditor did. And I took this original photo, I downscaled it from 2000 by 2000 to 200 by 200 image, removing almost every detail, and also added a blur such that there were no visible moon textures at all, and repeated steps from the last photo. And this was properly surprising for Samsung. Not just crunched out a shot with zero detail loss from the source image, but one that actually had more. Now this might not seem surprising. We are quite used to phones dramatically neatening up image after we have taken them, and we already kind of have the image in our minds. But think it for a second. If all the phones is seen in this instance is a white blob, how on earth would it know that this dark patch over here is a crater, and how would it know if the blurry bit here is a moon shadow? Venting detail by detail out of nowhere, and the only way this makes sense is the phone is not using its normal image processing, but instead recognizing the moon shape. And here the AI goes like, I already know what a moon looks like. I can sneak a little picture of moon instead of the original one. So what's happening here is Samsung has trained their AI to fully understand the real textures and details of the moon using hundreds of thousands of real images to teach how the patterns to look out, and because of that AI can recognize when a moon is present in future shots, and so long as there are enough identifiers for the phone to be able to confirm it, it will use what it's learned about what the moon should look like and analyze each moon photo from scratch, recognizing the bits it recognizes and adding those in, and then improvising how to enhance the rest. It's definitely beyond the level of tweaking that their phones would be able to do for normal random objects that they have never seen. But it's definitely better than what a lot of people are accusing them of, which is using some part of pre-baked image to slap on top of what you have taped. If an image like this existed, you would have been able to find it within the camera app file, but no one can. So why exactly is the issue? Why are people so worked about the moon photo? Well, there are two separate things that I have seen people concerned about here. So one is, I guess, the moral question of if a company can do this, especially without being open about it, is it changing the sanity of what it means for someone to be a photo as opposed to be a generated image? See, we are in the age where AI can make anything you ask to do it. So do you want your photos, your cherished memories, to just become one of those two, or do you want them to stay real? And the second concern people have with this situation is the more sinister accusation of its meaning that Samsung is deceiving their customers. And it's a valid point. The moon photos have been used as part of Samsung's marketing on multiple occasions, saying our phones have such good cameras that they can zoom in 100 times into interplanetary object and still capture a crisp output. And because it's talked about it in the marketing, that also tickles through the comparison and organic content where people are naturally going to test the phone side by side with other phones in this situation and come to the conclusion that Samsung cameras have just destroyed everyone else, when actually, if you are using that AI specifically trained to make this one use case look incredible, but then if you try shooting literally anything else, it will just be normal. I would say no at the point where you can turn a shot like this into a shot like it's going nothing to do with optics. This is a software trick, and really you could just be substitute in your potato laptop webcam, and so long as you can get a very blurry base image, you can still end up with a perfect moon at the end that would beat 90 of the other phones on the market. What I call is a great camera. So well, not really. The problem people having here is not that Samsung is using AI for its mooning capabilities. Either remember our view on the moon is locked from Earth, meaning that we basically just see one side of the moon, and the AIs had to learn it basically just a flat JPEG image. With all that said, does it actually matter? This whole disable had actually become a huge conversation topic. I have not seen a tech news site not talk about this, and obviously anyone naturally inclined to not like Samsung is seeing this as deceiving proof that they are a bunch of crooks. I would say this, that as far as Samsung is concerned, yeah, they should have been done a better job communicating what they are doing here. And for the most part, would you rather like a shot that is this, or would you rather have a shot like this? Plus, the way I'm looking at this is that I'm out at night and my eyes can see the moon. Then any AI that allows the phone to be able to do so is, I think, going to capture a memory that's closer to the way I remember. So yes guys, this was all about the Samsung's fake camera system and the moon photos. So I hope you liked the video, and my name is Sanket. This is Creative Innovative, and I will see you guys in the next one.